defend them if the need be.
Are you still the Municipal Chief Executive for the Sunyani Municipal Assembly House at this morning?
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I'm the acting MC or the caretaker MC.
Do you intend to relinquish that if you get approved as minister?
Mr. Chairman, I will, if you give me the nod.
What were you teaching at Brekum College of Education?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I was teaching 2 courses. One was religious and moral education, and the other one was HIV/AIDS in education.
You want to test the correlation between prostitution and HIV/AIDS as part of your prostitution research?
Mr. Chairman, I did not hear you well.
I say, watching your background from Brekum and the work you've done on HIV/AIDS, if you can kindly off your mic, save when you want to, when you are using it, then you can put it on chair. I'm saying that, do you want to test a correlation between prostitution and HIV/AIDS as part of your general research on prostitution in Ghana, as you hinted?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, please.
Your experience on AIDS, what is the status of it in the Bono region? You have an idea? The status of AIDS, is it worrying? What are the numbers? What have you observed? What can we do to reduce?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
this incident?
I don't have the statistics.
But what about AIDS do you want to share with us? I mean HIV/AIDS. What about it do you have to share with us?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, when we talk about HIV and AIDS, it's a viral disease that affects people through sexual, unprotected sexual intercourse, either anal or people contracting the HIV and AIDS through coming in contact, direct in contact with people who are infected by using sharp objects or contaminated sharp objects. Now, there are a few people who can also contract the HIV and AIDS unknowingly, and sometimes they don't understand why, because to them they think they are chaste, they are virgins, and therefore to them, people contract the HIV is only through sexual intercourse with people who are infected. It is this backdrop and others. That's why I want to enter into this topic.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, the Bono area youth, I don't have the name of the particular district. They demonstrate a lot of interest in cashew production. And I further note that poultry is of interest to many Bono youth. What plans do you have for poultry and cashew in the region should you become minister for the Bono region? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Bono region is one of the regions where people are into agribusiness and into cash cropping. And one of the areas that is not too new but not too old that my people are into, so far as farming is concerned, is the cultivation of cashew. And so if you look at the stretch from Wenchi to Banda to Sampa Jama North and South down to Brekum, see that there are so many people who are into cashew farming. Now, people cannot depend upon one source of income, and therefore, apart from the cocoa, they are also into cashew farming. With the cashew, within the space of 3 years to 4 years, it starts fruiting, and therefore, it will also augment and help people to earn income. Now, the problem with cashew now is the pricing is not static, unlike cocoa, which has a cocoa board and they have a static price. When you look at cashew, the buyers from left and right enter into our area, such as sample area, and then just buy the cashew as we want. And therefore it's affecting the farmers, and people's interest in the cashew production is reducing.
So you'll be advocating for a pricing regime for cashew to encourage its production. Is that the case?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, please.
And poultry, what do you want to do about it?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, poultry is also Bono, and Bono is poultry. In the whole
so
Ghana,
I can call Bono poultry and call poultry Bono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, when we talk about poultry farming, the people...
No, I'm repeating your words. Poultry is Bono and Bono is poultry. Poultry is Bono and Bono is poultry.
Mr. Chairman, don't forget I'm a teacher, and so that sometimes you have to create humor for...
Okay,
humor
good
for
one.
people
Good humor. So that leads me to your CV. Page 3. Academic positions. Is Graphic Treasurer an academic position? And is Women's Prefect an academic position? And is Sports Committee member an academic position? Maybe Chairman should indulge you to get in touch with the clerk to clean that part of your CV in page 3. Even political positions held. I would have thought that the chief executive of chief executive of Sunyani, as you said, is political. But I see a whole list of TESCON, MPP. If that is your notion of political office, I think that you can improve that aspect of your CV. What do you want to be remembered for if you become Minister for Bono? What would you want to be remembered in the next 4 years as your contribution to the social, political, and economic development of Bono? In your own words. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as I said earlier on, I'm a team builder, and therefore, if I'm giving the nod to become the Bono Minister, there were so many efforts I put in place that yielded fruits when I became the MCE, and I think I will transfer some of them to the office that I'm going to occupy if I'm giving the nod. One of them is my affability, that I'm able to liaise well with all groups of people, whether old or young, royal, ordinary, rich, poor, wherever I'm able to. And so therefore, I want to use myself as an example, a role model, for people to know that when we talk about politics, when we talk about a woman being a leader, when we talk about people being in charge of issues, it's about somebody who will be able to harness all resources and be ready to service or her people.
All right, thank you, Chairman. Football and soccer, if you observe behind you, is the Honorable Ignatius Bafo. I know that he has a football club because my team competes with his and many other teams in the Brekum area. The youth in that area, from Brekum through Techima and others, huge interest in football, yet no soccer pitches, yet a lot of, even in Ghana today, I should say that the Bono region is leading in terms of number of teams comparable to Accra and elsewhere. What plans do you have for football and soccer development in Bono? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, as the saying goes, all work and no play. And being a professional teacher, I know what Gogisbet put in place. Miss Jack Edal guy. And so, when it comes to school, or schooling, or opening up a school, there should be a football field or a playing field, so that people can exercise, then other talents can be on earth, apart from academic work. So in the same way, in our social life, we should also give room for people to exhibit their sportive activities. And apart from it being an entertainment, it is also now a business on its own. People play football to earn a living. And so let me use this opportunity to help me thank my able MP for putting up football force to attract the youth to have a play and train so that they can also be fit or be called for national and other teams. Mr. Chairman, together with my predecessor, Honorable Mrs. Amakuno Richardson, and at Tunyan Traditional Council, we team up to get a place because we realized that the old or former football coronation park is not standard so far as sporting and football is concerned. And so we are trying to get a place.
Do we have your word that you work to give them a standard football pitch? Is that an assurance we have from you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes. With my able ministers and MPs, we will lobby, put our heads together, Traditional Council to give us the land, and together we will make Sunyani one of the hub for football and sports.
Yes, Gisela.
Gisela.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable nominee, congratulations. I see from your CV, you have a lot of experience in the HIV, and that will be reproductive health, teenage pregnancy, and so on and so forth. And I know that you may have a busy schedule, and also I am far from your region. But as a woman, as a mother, is it possible to bring these skills to bear so that we can look at a model to support our young girls across the country with teenage pregnancy problems and challenges associated with that for the betterment of the young girls in the country? Because I see that you have done quite a bit of it. You've talked about it. You have a lot of experience in the health administration sector as well. What can we do to help our young girls across? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as I told you, a professional teacher, I don't only teach in the classroom, but wherever I find myself that is convenient, I exhibit my teaching ability. Again, I am a mother of all seasons. And as I told you, I'm able to work with all groups of people, including young women and young men. And so when I was posted to Doma East Education Office to become the coordinator for basic school and girls' child education, apart from my shadow duties, I was moving from one school to another because
so now what can you do to
so all those exhibits, all those things that I was able to do, organizing programs, being a resource person to these people, I will continue to do. Then again, even in the church, boys brigade, girls brigade, I was giving them, and so I will continue to do it. And then I can't do it alone always, and therefore it will be good for me to also help others to be well versed in it. Then they can also go out there to continue from where maybe I can go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll discuss after. Yes. What are the cross-border benefits that you feel you can tap into? Your region borders Côte d'Ivoire. What can you maximize from it for your region? From that fact that you share a border with Côte d'Ivoire? Will it be markets? Will it be, I don't know. What is it that you think you can maximize for the benefit of your region? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman, yes. Bono region shares border with Côte d'Ivoire along the Doma Central and Doma East stretch. Now, but for the partition of Africa, which I read in history, we are all one people. One village to the next, marrying, moving here and there, farming almost all together. But for the partition of Africa, where now we are in Ghana and they are in Côte d'Ivoire. So there are certain things that we deal in common. That includes our culture and many other things. Now we can do exchange programs. Now if you come to Ghana, for instance, in basic schools, most of them, we don't have the opportunity to learn French. And so during vacation, we can put up some programs where we do exchange program for our people to go there, learn French language. Then they too will come here and learn English language. Apart from this, there are certain things that we can also put in place to benefit both countries. So like clinics along the borders, because if they are sick, it can affect us. And if we are also sick, it affects. But they are mostly not into clinics and hospitals, they are rather into pharmacy. And therefore, if you have some cheap compounds and some hospitals along the stretch, now they can also assess if the law will permit that. Again, there are certain things they are also well versed into. With this poultry farming, who knows? All you know, it was learned from there. And so there are certain things that maybe they also have upper hand on. We can learn on, and through that, it will benefit all of us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations, Honorable Justina Owusu-Banahene, on your nomination.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, the creation of Ahafo and Bono East regions, naturally would create a certain situation of some kind of competition among three siblings. Now, Sunyani, the capital of, Bono region, has already all the infrastructure that the other regions will require. Now, that means not a lot would have to be done to create, Bono region. Now, what it means is that you are likely to rest on your horse, thinking that maybe all is good. And by the time you realize Ahafo and Bono have come to pass, is there anything that you want to bring to bear to push Bono region way ahead of the pack? Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, there are many things that we should do as a region to push the region up in terms of development. One is about education. Yes, we have enough education. However, in the area of, say, vocational and technical education, we have only two in the region, from Don Bosco and Methodist Vocational Technical Institute. Now we have the university, technical university, and I think that if we have these TVETs in place, now the products or the graduates from these technical and vocational schools can be used to feed the university. And in doing that, we all know when it comes to technical and vocational school, they learn on skills. So even if the government is not able to employ them, now they can live on their own with the skill and ability that they have. Again, as we said, we have the regional hospital, all right, but it is not a teaching hospital. And one of the things that I will ask, with the support from my ministers and my MPs here, if I'm giving the nod, is for our hospital, our regional hospital, to be turned into a teaching hospital, so that the nurses can do in-service training. Then again, University of UNER and Technical University can also do in their curriculum areas where they can also do medicine, so that we'll get special doctors to handle special issues. Mr. Chairman, some years I've forgotten the year, we didn't have, or we don't have, a urinary or prostrate doctors or specialists. And so there were 3 doctors who were from Kolebu, who comes every month to handle the situation. Now on their way back, we lost the 3 of them. I'm thinking that if the regional hospital is a teaching hospital, where we have these special doctors, and we have our doctors who are handling such situations, I believe that some of these unforeseen issues will be reduced. And so the hospital, I think, should be turned into a teaching hospital with the support of my MPs and ministers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Sunyani lands, the last time I checked, still remain vested in the state. Do you think, at this point in our history, Sunyani lands should continue to be vested in the state, or should revert to the appropriate stools?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, if Sunyani land is vested land, and it's not posing a problem, then I think it should be continued. But if it is a vested land and because of that it is posing a problem, then authorities will sit down together with the traditional council. They will find a lasting solution to it. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Suhiri. I have a list here. Honorable Suhiri, are you still interested in asking your question? Yes, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman. I was just going through the nominees' CV, and I realized no mention was made of allied health professions. Aren't you connected to that in any way? Allied health professions, Professions Council.
Mr. Chairman, please.
Allied Health Professions Council. Aren't you connected to them in any way? I went through your CV. I didn't see any indication that you have anything to do with them.
Mr. Chairman, please, aren't you?
Allied Health Professions or Professionals Council. Is it known to you?
Sorry. Mr. Chairman, please. It's known to me. I'm a board member.
Yes, like I said, I was just going through your CV. I didn't see any reference made to it. Can you explain why? Can you explain why it doesn't feature in your CV? I mean, on your CV.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, I was given place with the board because I placed one there. I decided not to, and now I was sent there because I was an MC. But now I'm acting, and therefore, if you are acting there too, I don't know whether I should still be an acting. That's why I did not put it there. Thank you.
I should go on. All right. What is your take as regional minister on the conflict between Jape Chrome and the New Drobo area involving dispute over land that has gone as far as to the Supreme Court? As regional minister, if you are approved, what will be your approach to that raging conflict?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I have to be sincere because I've sworn an oath. My designate was to be an MCE for Sunyane. And so I want to be sincere. My attention was focused on Sunyane and to see how best I can uplift the image of Sunyane. So
do you know about the conflict?
Not too much. Thank you.
That means she knows something, not too much. So I want to know if she's, the little that she knows, if she is approved as regional minister, what will be her approach to that issue?
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, yes, every human being, your core mandate is to see to that there is peace and development. And so if you give me the nod and I take charge, if there's a need for me even to consult you so that we can put our heads together and get lasting solution to whatever that is happening there, we will do it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, there's this police command structure that has been put up since 2014 at Jape Chrome, a police facility to house the municipal police unit since 2014, and has since not been put to use. Can you assure this committee that when you become minister, the attempts to get a land to construct a new one will not be your focus, but the utilization of the one that has been constructed since 2014 will preoccupy your attention?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I will. God be my helper.
I wish you well. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a small follow-up before the Honorable, whoever you identify. Minister, you know, you said sense of humor, and you said you are a teacher in the classroom. You just used words which also ignited my sense of humor. When the Honorable Suhini wanted to know your role in those lands issues, you said, Chairman, I know small. Share the small with us. It reminded me of a classroom teacher who asked students to define faint. And one of them said to die small. So share your small with us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, you know, when it comes to land issue and chieftaincy issues, I think sometimes it is the royals and other things who, as much as I don't know so much, the little that I know is that my soldiers were trooping in to see to that there was order and other things. That is why there was a curfew there. But that's why I told you, I swore with the Bible. So
your small is just soldiers showing interest. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Owusu.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations to all for your nomination as Regional Minister. And I am particularly interested in your nomination because I come from the area, and you know that as well. But in an answer to the previous question on cashew, I just want to follow up on it. You do know that the Tree Crop Development Authority has been established to do for tree crops, including cashew, what Cocoa Board has done for the development of cocoa in this country. What are you going to do, working with them, to ensure that cashew also becomes one of the major tree crops and cash crops in this country?
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes. When it comes to Bono region, I said earlier that now we don't only depend on cocoa, but we've extended to cashew, coffee, and others. And I think cashew, coffee, mango, coconut, oil palm, all fall under this tree crop authority. And we have born up arable land, fertile land, that if the people are given a little support, a little push, motivated in one way or the other, I think we'll be able to produce and produce more. It's a matter of them giving us large land, and the government also supporting the people with soft loans with minimal interest. And this alone will be able to solve part of the unemployment situation so far as the youth is concerned. So I'm thinking that when I'm giving the nod, together with my ministers and my MPs and opinion leaders, we put our heads together and support this tree crop, and I bet you it's going to support not the individual, not the community, but Ghana and even beyond. Thank you.
Poultry is also one of the main economic activities in the region, and the onset of the pandemic affected the growth of that industry. Do you know how the impact it had on poultry farmers in the region, and what steps are you going to take as regional minister to assist them in this endeavor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, when we talk about poultry, it's Bono and Bono region. I'm thinking that if the poultry industry is given a facelift, with the government supporting it with logistics and resources and soft loans, I want to tell you that the industry will be vibrant. That will help support the youth and attract the youth into the poultry industry. Again, women will also be there because the poultry activity is such that it embraces all kinds of people, both literate and illiterate, men and women, and even the youth. They have a little challenge, the hatchery and few others. But if all these resources are put in place and they are motivated in one way or the other, I tell you, the poultry industry will benefit the people of Ghana, and if it will help the president, the government, not to import poultry products, but the local one will be able to feed the whole country and even the surplus being sent out. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, you've been a teacher all your life, and you've taught the girl child in Doma, and in your work as HIV/AIDS instructor in many of the institutions you've worked into, you've interacted with girls, and so you are seen as a role model for the young girls in the region and beyond. Now, what are you going to do to encourage more girls to go to school, to stay in school, and to get a profession, and to have more women achievers, to interact with them and encourage them to know that education is the key to their own personal development?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, there's a need for the girl child to also be considered, much as the man or the boy child is encouraged in one way or the other to have education. In the same way, the girl child. But for some of these motivation, maybe you and I will not be sitting here. So I'm thinking that me as a teacher, and once a teacher, always a teacher, even though now I'm not in classroom, so I think our lifestyle, we should serve as a role model to motivate the young ones to be in school. How do we do that? Now we can organize programs, both in the communities, on FMs, on radios, in the churches, and wherever there's an institution. In doing that, maybe some topics that will support, or some programs, some incentives, will also be given out to motivate them to do it. Again, you are telling me you are also a Bono woman. So some of you Bono women in Accra, Kumasi, and far away, join me if I'm giving the nod. Then together we move from one community to another when there is time, for us to interact with them, for them to know the value of the women. Because without women, society cannot grow. We need the women on board. And therefore, if the men are going, we the men should go. It is no longer men in front and women at the back. It is now side by side. So side by side together, we'll help both Mother Ghana. Thank you.
You couldn't have put it
here
better.
that she's also part of my clerk. When you're motivating them, invite her. Yes. Honorable Agaga.
Honorable nominee, congratulations. Would you say that when you served as MCE for Sunyani, you didn't achieve much in the area of sanitation?
Mr. Chairman, please come again.
Is it the case that as MCE for Sunyani, you did not achieve much in the area of sanitation?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I achieved much. Thank you.
Now, there is a major problem with sanitation in parts of Sunyani, particularly behind the technical university, very close to one of the hostels. Is a major dumping site. Hostels, student hostels. It's a major dumping site. Now, a few meters from the dumping site is a river, which is a source of water for irrigation for people who cultivate vegetables like lettuce, cabbage, etc. Now, when it rains, the dumping site serves as a major pollutant because the water runs straight into the pollutants are washed straight into the river. Additionally, your own hometown, Atroni, has had, yes, your hometown. I've lived in Sunyani before. Yes.
Ignore them and answer your question, please.
Has had major problems with sanitation, and the media has had occasion to actually report this matter to you for your urgent action. Now, if given the nod, what would you do to restore Sunyani to its former status as the cleanest city in Ghana?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, first and foremost, I know Sunyani is still the cleanest city in Ghana. Again, yes, I know about the final dumping site in Sunyani, as you've said. For the last 3 months to the end of the year, the government, in collaboration with the Zoom Lion Company, Ghana Limited, have gotten a land around Bakunyamba where we are organizing the place into a modern technology-driven to process the place to become the dumping site, so that we will stop this one, because, as we said, it is now getting closer to a stream. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Yes.
Chairman, thank you very much. Nominee. Sunyani is one of the most beautiful cities in the country. And your MP for Sunyani East, Honorable Kwesi our Chairman, hustled the government and got the Sunyani water expansion project. I know the sources at Abyssine. I'm sure you've gotten a brief on the project, and that of the city of Abyssine. I'm sure you know about that project. Government is spending over $183 million on the Sunyani water expansion project. Government is also spending over 32 million euros on the Wenchi water expansion project. You know, Wenchi, they use tankers and boreholes and stuff. What are you going to do to support the completion of this project, the benefit of the good people of Bono region? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Chairman, water is life. We need water, and we need clean water. And therefore, it is welcoming to see some of these projects being brought into my region and for our region, because if you give me the nod, one day you visit Bono, and if you can, I have to give you clean water. So it's a welcoming project, and together with my MPs, my ministers, opinion leaders, and many others, we put our heads together and support their work to be fast done, so that the people will have that benefit. Thank you.
Chairman, secondly, we know of BA United. We also know of Bofakwa. Now it's Bechem United in the Hafu region. We also knew of Techiman Holy Stars. It's now in Bono East. Bono region has produced a lot of talented footballers. Owusu, and if you come to the Starlets, the captain for the 1991 squad, the Sunyani doctor, you know him, Alex Opoku. Football is dead in your region. It's gone. Bechem Chelsea, Bechem United, they are all not in your region. What? Adriana from Doma, they are doing, that's the only vibrant soccer club in the region. And I've seen the beautiful Queen Mother from Doma here to support you. what are you going to do to support school sports, soccer, to bring back the region to that level again? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, we need to revamp the sports industry to be able to unearth people with sporting talents. Now, as I said earlier on, the region is planning to get a new standard befitting sports stadium. And we will need the people to make good use of the state sports stadium. So I'm thinking that in collaboration with GES, we used to have interco, even basic school, sporting, and infiltrate ball. All these things, when people are doing it, we can also observe them from afar and handpick people with the talents. So together with that, the one that we can get from school, I think if we're able to train them and we have a befitting sports stadium, we'll be able to get more people to enter into the sporting activities, including football. Aduana is there, is vibrant. Bofo and BA United, they are all there. I think it takes people to reorganize something to become useful. So when I'm giving the nod, together with my MPs and my ministers and opinion leaders, including especially my honorable MP, Bafo Wasunyani West, give him a clap for me wherever he is, because he's supporting the youth into sport. And I think when others also enumerate that, we'll be able to get where we want to be. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, with your leave, what is infiltrate ball?
Water to water, it's okay.
Infiltrate ball.
Pole to pole.
Chairman, the nominees say give him a clap. We don't clap here. We should give who a clap.
He was talking about the MP for
I know.
Sunyani West, but not in the chamber. The clap will be outside of the chamber.
Okay, thank you, Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Amama Yariga before Nilante. You have no question. Very well. Honorable Nilante, wonderful.
Honorable nominee, thank you very much. My first question has to do with spatial planning. Sunyani, Abisim, Tanoso, Fiapre, Siatre, all those towns, some time ago, you could stand in front of the street and see the last house. Voie plant city. Today, almost uncontrolled development, structures, kiosks, containers, occupying everywhere. What will you do to ensure that the MMDAs respect our special planning laws, keep these alleys nice, which will help in the beauty of the city?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Chairman, as we said, the planning unit have its own mandate and how to organize and plan well for every city, including Sunyani, and for the matter, Bono region as entirely. So I'm thinking that if I get there, together with my planning units, we'll collaborate with the municipal planning officers, then organize a program for us to, if for lack of want of words, reorganize our region. One, by educating the people, for them to know that if they should put structures at where they shouldn't be, the day there's fire outbreak, that's what they will have a feel of it. And so when we begin to do this education, and I'm supporting us, ministers and MPs, opinion leaders helping us, and even the preacher man by the pulpit also telling the people, I believe it will sound well, and then people will adhere to the normal way of putting up structures. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
My second question has to do with smuggling. Smuggling.
Smuggling.
Yes, of especially our cocoa along the borders to Côte d'Ivoire. It's been a very serious issue from the days when I was 13 years. Huh? What are you going to do to make sure that our cocoa is not smuggled across the borders to Côte d'Ivoire, so the revenue that we should derive as a country, we do so?
Mr. Chairman, yes, as we said, the cocoa that is grown in Ghana is yours and mine. Because when we send it outside, the proceeds can be used to develop the whole of Ghana. So why should we allow others to smuggle it, as you are saying? So I think together with other opinion leaders and stakeholders, the security will have to set up and see to it that no cocoa is sent overboard. Again, if the pricing in Ivory Coast is higher than that of ours, we should also sit down and see why and how. If the cocoa is going to maybe one same area, why should theirs be 2 cities and ours be 1 city, 50 pesos? So if we are able to sit down at the table and negotiate on all these things, it will help. So the immigration officers and patrol team should sit up for now and see to it that the smuggling is. Thank you.
My last one. For almost close to 20 years now, the government of Ghana put money into building a new market for Sunyani. It's largely unoccupied, and there's a serious congestion within the city center. How are you going to help in making sure that those who are supposed to be relocated to the new market go, so that we can decongest the city center of Sunyani?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, there's a need for us to decongest Sunyani main market. And this is what I did when the COVID-19, when we were fighting it. We were able to divide the market into 3 sections, parts going to the number small markets, parts occupying the Jubilee Park, and others also remaining, or others also sent to the Coronation Park. Now, those at the Coronation Park have gone back, and so still there's congestion. So there's the need for us to sit together with my stakeholders, and others should be included, the MPs and ministers, and other interested opinion leaders should also be part of this negotiation, so that together we can have a very good place to have a modern market, then that congestion on the one way on the road. Because if you don't take a one day, the woman will be there and the car can, you know the rest of the story. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. The leader has no more questions. Right. Thank you for attending upon the House to answer questions. You are discharged. You will hear from us later. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. God bless you all.